Hi, Tanya Wyatt here from The Happy Body. Portion sizes. Everyone asks me about that. Please tell me how much I should eat. Clients are completely lost. They don't trust themselves to help themselves in a plate of food that will make them feel satisfied and comfortable. So the question gets asked again and again. I won't know what's going to work for you. Everybody is very different biochemically, so this is something that we really have to be aware of. You are completely different to the person who sits next to you at work. You're different to your mother and your father. You may share some very common characteristics, but biochemically you have a very unique system, and you need to work out exactly what it is that's going to satisfy that system. So this is the problem with diets, is that they're very generic, and you can be sure they worked for the person who wrote them, and they will work for a whole lot of people, but they may not work for you. And so experimentation is required, which means not being scared of trying something new and something different, and then just seeing where it takes you. If I had to give you a general rule of thumb, I would suggest that you should look at putting your protein and fat on the plate first. And with protein, you don't want to overeat it. So really, you don't need very much protein at all. You do want protein every time you eat, but you don't need a lot of it. I would then suggest that you put some fat over that protein, melt some coconut fat over it, or some butter, or pour some olive oil over it. And then personally, I like my clients to go wild with vegetables. I'm not too fussy about starchy versus non-starchy. Obviously, I'm not going to encourage them to eat huge amounts of beetroot and carrot and potato and sweet potato, because those are starchy vegetables. But I don't really have a problem with those coming in regularly, just in smaller amounts. I mean, I could do a baked potato with a ton of butter on it. Oh. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So yes, some starchy veggies, fine. I like clients just to go mental with salad and vegetable stuff, and then to melt some butter over those, and a general, or coconut fat, or any other kind of fat you like, and then on your salad, obviously olive oil. And a general rule of thumb that I give, just as a starting point to experiment with, is around about 3 to 5 tablespoons of fat over that meal. So literally spoon out, let's say 3, because a lot of people are scared of putting too much fat on. Take 3 tablespoons of butter or coconut fat, melt them over your meal, and then see how you feel afterwards. Assess yourself using the same tool I suggested on the last blog. So you assess yourself after your meal, see if you crave anything, if you need anything, if you're not satisfied. But really, fats are the key. And then if you are going to eat rice with a meal, or some pasta with a meal, or a lot of potato or stuff like that, then just make those smaller amounts, more moderate to smaller amounts. So it's not really an answer in terms of the question, what should my plate of food look like? But it should give you some ideas, trying to assess more or less what that plate of food should look like. So good luck with experimenting. Go wild. Don't be scared. The faster you experiment with things, the sooner you're going to get to your ideal, and the less likely you're going to need any of my advice.